I accidentally became an influencer during COVID. A mathfluencer, to be specific. If we've never met, hello, I'm Olivia Phillips. I'm a PhD student in operations research at Georgia Tech. And I know what you're thinking. What in the world is operations research? Funny you should ask. I also had no idea what OR was until my senior year of undergrad. Now, to find out how I became an influencer, we need to go back to the beginning. I was born in 1998 in Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, maybe that's going back a little too far. For as long as I can remember, I have always loved math. My parents tell me that I used to sit in the car seat in the back of the car, and they would tell me these equations like 1 + 3. And when I answered correctly, they were surprised and asked, "How did you know that was the answer?" And I would say, I don't know, I just see the numbers in my head. So numbers have always been first and foremost in my brain. Apparently. I was homeschooled up through 4th grade, and I have vivid memories of sitting there filling out my math workbooks and just singing the math to myself. It was so much fun, and I would do extra math workbooks just because I enjoyed it. I went to a small Christian school for middle school, and my obsession with math continued. Every year we went to this event called the Math Olympics, and it was my favorite part of the year. We would spend all morning taking math tests, and then while they graded our tests, we'd go into this room with all the other math students from other schools, and we'd play these math-related games. It was a math nerd's dream come true. Fast forward to high school. Now, I took as many math classes as I could, including AP Calc AB and AP Statistics. My school didn't have AP Calc BC, so me and 2 other students would meet with my math teacher during our morning break and learn the BC content. Shout out to Mrs. Bryant, because spoiler alert, I eventually become a math teacher too, so I know that she was doing that out of her own goodwill and probably was not getting paid for that. In addition to my math classes, I was also part of the math team all 4 years of high school. I was promoted to varsity math team sophomore year. Yes, that is a thing. And senior year, I was one of the co-captains. TLDR, I have always loved math. I originally wanted to go to MIT for undergrad, but after I got in, I realized I would rather be at a liberal arts school. So when I got accepted to Harvard, I decided to go there instead. At Harvard, I unsurprisingly majored in math, applied math to be specific. I kept taking other intro classes like intro life sciences, intro economics, because I wasn't 100% sure, but who am I kidding? I never changed my major. The issue was I just couldn't find my niche in math until senior fall when I took an optimization class. I fell in love. As cheesy as it sounds, I've always wanted to make the world a better place, whether that means addressing injustices or even just inefficiencies. I remember walking by the assistant principal's office in high school and seeing her diagram of all the high school classes on the board, and I was jealous that she got to solve that problem to optimality. Of course, I didn't have the words for it at the time, but flash forward to the end of college and I realized that is called operations research, using mathematical concepts to improve decision-making in the world. So great news, I found my mathematical passion, but I was already heading down a different path. I had been accepted to a program called Harvard Teacher Fellows. So during my last semester of undergrad, I also started some master's degree coursework for a degree in education. I was enrolled in graduate coursework full-time while I was teaching high school math part-time at a public school. Of course, this was 2020, so it was less like teaching and it was more like being a Twitch streamer or live streaming. I think I only saw maybe 4 of my students' faces the entire year. Nevertheless, I finished out the year, I got my master's degree in education, and then I began full-time work as a high school math teacher in DC. I absolutely loved teaching AP Calculus. However, teaching calculus wasn't enough math for me, so I decided to go back for my PhD. I spent a year as a research assistant at MIT while I was applying to grad school, and then in the fall of 2023, I began my PhD program in operations research here at Georgia Tech. Okay, but I promised to share how I became a math influencer, right? Let's take a few steps back. The summer that I was doing my master's degree coursework in education, I decided why not post a TikTok about math. I made a video talking about how students had probably all forgotten their math since they left school back in March, and I invited them to follow me for some math help. Well, apparently 100,000 people needed math help. My TikTok exploded overnight, and suddenly I was making algebra refresher videos every day for the rest of the summer. And since then, I've just been posting math content. When I was teaching high school, I did a lot of AP Calc content, After that, it merged into a lot of math in the world. And now I plan on talking more about how math can make the world more efficient through the lens of operations research. I'm planning on this channel having a combination of widely accessible math in the world style videos, as well as some more in-depth technical videos about topics like linear optimization, discrete optimization, these courses that I took in my PhD that when I went to look for materials about them, there's just not that much online. But definitely feel free to leave some comments for suggestions for things you would like to see in videos on this channel. So that's me, a nerd, a Swiftie, and an accidental math influencer.